Hey, how are you? This is Jason Druss, Principal Product Marketing Manager from the Adobe Premiere team, and today we are here to talk about masking in the all-new color mode in Adobe Premiere Beta. You can't have professional color grading without masking. It's like spaghetti and meatballs, lamb and tuna fish, if you know, you know. Masking is a core part of the color grading experience. And recently in Premiere 26.0, we released the all-new AI-powered object mask, which lets you hover and click to mask any kind of subject or object you want in your shot very, very quickly and easily, in addition to completely reinvented shape masks with all new bidirectional 3D perspective tracking. There was a reason we did all this stuff. We worked on masking almost as long as we worked on this completely new reinvented vision for what color grading can be for video editors, because we knew you can't have color grading without really, really good masking. And as we were developing all of the masking stuff and all the color mode stuff, the teams were all working in coordination like this to make sure that by the time we got to color mode, we would have a seamless masking experience and that users would be able to leverage object masks and shape masks to do some really awesome, dangerous color grading. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with this clip right here. Let's loop it, play back, and let's see what we got. We start with an extreme close-up of this telephone, and then we dolly out to reveal this very nervous and anxious gentleman. Looks like he's awaiting a phone call of some kind. So what we're going to do is start with the telephone. Well, let's reverse engineer, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to change the color of this phone and do some other fun stuff with an object mask on this telephone. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some shape masks to relight the clip and our own image, if you will. So let's start at the beginning. Masks belong to adjustments in color mode. And right now you want to make all of those masks at the clip level. So what we're going to do is, just for clarity and organization, I'm going to rename this adjustment. I'm just going to say clip adjustment. And then what I'm going to do is make a new clip adjustment. Let's double click on this and let's call this object mask phone. There we go. So, what I want is to create an object mask that is attached to this clip operation, right? So what I'm going to do is go down on the tools like I always do. Let's hover over the object mask tool. Let's click on that. And now all I have to do is hover over anything in my shot. Right now it's picking up the phone because that's pretty much the only thing in focus. Let's go ahead and click on the phone. Great. Cool. So what you'll notice now is that as soon as I clicked on that phone, I have this cute little square icon right here, right next to this adjustment. And this is telling me visually that this clip operation has a mask attached to it. And anything I do in this clip adjustment is going to belong to and impact and be limited by the range that I select, or the thing I isolate inside of this object mask. If an operation, and that could be an adjustment, a style, a LUT, whatever you want. If an operation of any kind has this square icon next to it, that's telling you, hey man, I got a mask right here, and that cute little square icon is the indicator that you got a mask on your adjustment. Cool. And again, like we designed it this way to make sure you know that you can copy and paste masks. You can add the same kind of mask to different adjustments and do different kinds of things. We're going to get into all that. Let's start simple, shall we? So what you can do is you can choose to open up the effects control panel. And I can see that within my object mask adjustment here in the new color effect, I have an object mask. Now, if you don't want to mess with the effects control panel just to set up your track, that's cool. Personally, my personal opinion, I'm in that camp as well. I like to do as much work as possible inside of the program monitor. So I have my object mask here. I have my red overlay here. We have the object mask. Let's right click on the object mask, and what I can do is select track. 3 seconds, 23 frames per second. Not bad. Not bad, man. This is ProRes 422 HQ Media. Not bad. So now that we're tracked, let's play back. And by the way, that right click button, if I were to start the track Well, I'll just show it to you now. Oh, actually, we need to do this because I'm noticing that Object Mask didn't realize this little green part of the thing here is inside the phone too. So let's use our Object Mask tools. Let's lasso. Let's just circle around this guy right here. And now it's a part of the mask. Great. Awesome. So as you'll notice, I need to retrack this now. So let's go ahead and right click and track the mask. And what you'll notice is that first it's going to track forward, and then it's going to track backwards. It'll track bidirectionally. There we go. So we have our object mask now. Let's go back to our clip grid here. Let's play back. And now we can see we got our object mask tracked. So I can do two things here. I can choose to turn off the red overlays or change the overlay to whatever color I want to for clarity for myself. But if I turn the overlays off, I can do all my color grading knowing that everything I'm going to adjust is just going to be limited to inside of the range of the object mask, right? Let's undo that adjustment. If I keep the overlays on, a common misconception is that you have to turn the overlays off. Anytime I do color grading, for instance, I'm going to go to my color shift controls here. I'm going to use the eyedropper. I'm going to isolate the color of this phone right here. And I'm going to go into saturation shift. I'm going to make that wider. As soon as I click on the tool, you'll notice the overlays goes away while I'm actively working them. When I click off of the tool, the overlay is going to come back, right? So like while you're masking, if you're in a situation where you need to see like what your mask is, you can do that. Let's go to hue shift right here. Let's make it a little bit wider. Let's go ahead and change the color of that phone, make it way more green. That's cool. All right, so now I'm pretty sure I'm done my object mask work. Now I'm going to turn the overlays off. I'm just going to go ahead and watch the whole clip end to end now. Cool. I dig it. I'm happy. Muy bueno. Very good. All right. So that's object mask. Now let's do some shape masks. Now listen, folks. Object mask is just the coolest thing in the whole world. I love it. It's fast. It's awesome. It's just fantastic. But what I love even more are shape masks. Call me old school, call me traditional, but I think shape masks are the perfect system for not just isolating an object or a subject, but for relighting purposes, right? And that's what we're going to do now. Let's go ahead and make a new clip adjustment. We're going to call this shape mask triangle. Cool. So now we have a new adjustment ready for another mask. Let's go ahead and go to our object mask tool. I'm going to long press on object mask, and I'm going to go to the pen mask tool. Let's go to the first frame of the shot. We're going to zoom out here so we can see more of the clip. What I'm going to do is create a little pen triangle. Right here, right here. Let's click on that. Let's click. A lot of masking when it comes to color grading is really just creating blobby shapes to do some really interesting relighting movements. So what I want is I want everyone's attention really focused on the phone when we first open up to this shot. So now that I have, and again, I can turn on my overlays if I want to see whatever color I want. If I want some kind of clarity to make sure I understand exactly how my feathering is going to work, like that. I want something really blobby like that. I want a lot of feathering out this way. Let's turn overlays off because I don't need them anymore. What I'm going to do now is go over to exposure, and I'm going to raise exposure up. And I'm also going to increase contrast a little bit. Yeah, and let's adjust the pivot of that contrast. I wanted to prioritize the highlights. Move left a little bit. Nice. Let's go ahead. Let's turn this on and off. I can see the before, I can see the after. Okay. Now, normally you'd be like, okay, let's track the mask. I would right click. I would track. I would resurface the effects control panel. That's not what I want to do. I want to talk to you folks about clip and frame track editing mode. Now again, when we released this in Premiere 26.0, a lot of folks were like, what is this? What's the purpose of this? Well, I got to tell you, a lot of its purpose is, and functionality, you can use it for anything you want to, but I think this is like the perfect combination for color mode, right? Let's go back to an analogy. This is like your ice cream and your hot chocolate fudge, man. All right, so let's hop into frame mode. Let's have some fun. The idea behind frame track editing mode is that instead of making, like if this is a 3-second shot, 4-second shot, something like that, instead of making like 90 something individual little keyframes every single frame to like change the shape and control the mask, I can just make a few keyframes, and frame track editing mode is going to do everything for me in between. It's going to animate the mask between points A, B, C, D, however many points I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the first frame. I'm going to move this way. Let's bring that down. What I want to do is keep people's attention on the phone here. Let's go ahead and stretch out our triangle over here like that. And then what I want to do is carefully control, and then I want to focus attention on the gentleman and the phone right here. The shot starts with the phone. Our attention is on the phone. By the time we dolly out and see the whole shot and we see this man's anxiety waiting for the phone to ring, I want, as an editor who is color grading, I want everyone's attention just like dialed in on the guy and the phone together. So I'm going to make a little adjustment right here, and I'm going to decrease the feathering a little bit, make that a little bit wider like this. And then on the last frame, not that much more movement, I'm just going to make this a little bit larger like this, right? So now we can see, if I turn the mask on and off, this was the shot before the shape mask. This is the shot after the shape mask. And if I go back to the first frame, you can see, look at what's happening here. Look at that. Now I can tell, okay, maybe it doesn't get to him fast enough. So right here, what I'm going to do is bring it up and out a little bit like that. There we go. Nice. And what I'm going to do at the end, really, really feather that out in the last point right here. I just want to like feather this thing out a little bit more. All right, cool. So let's play it back. Let's highlight both of these adjustments right here, and let's turn them off, and we'll play back the before. Wait, we don't need, let's fit. There we go. Before. Not a bad shot. Pretty decent grade. After, right? That's what color grading's all about, man. That's what it's all about. Doing cool, fun stuff like that, right? It's about the styles and the modules. It's about all this cool stuff that we've thrown into the app here. But man, the ability to create these shape masks and relight the shot and really have an impact on the cinematography, whether it's something you shot or something that you are editing and grading to serve the vision of another cinematographer, director, producer, whatever you're doing. This is what it's all about, man. This is where all the fun is. We're going to take it one step further. You ready? Stay with me. This is the finale here. All right, so we got our shape mask triangle right here. Let's go ahead and let's add one more adjustment. Let's add the clip adjustment, and let's call this reverse triangle. I wonder if you see where I'm going to go with this one. So let's take the mask, just the mask, and let's copy just the mask. Now I can do that by right-clicking, copy, or I can just click on the mask, Control-C for copy. Let's click on this operation, Control-V. I have pasted the mask. So what I have now is essentially a double applied mask. Now notice I copied the mask. I didn't copy the color correction. I just copied the mask with the custom frame tracking that I created. So what I can do now is I'm going to go to this mask and I can right click, and I can say invert mask. So now if I go to turn on my overlays, guess what I got, Jack? Boom. I got the opposite shape of the previous mask in the previous adjustment. So shape mask here. Shape mask here on the inside. Shape mask here on the outside. You see where I'm going with this? So let's go ahead and click none. Let's turn our overlays off. Let's go to our wide shot right here, and let's go to the let's go to the adjustment right here, and let's just do a little bit of desat on the outside, and let's take exposure. Let's bring exposure down just a little bit. All right. I went a little too far with that desat. Let's bring it up like right there. Cool. All right, let's turn that off and on. Oh, we can do better than that. Let's actually make it a little bit cooler. There we go. And we'll bring exposure down just a little bit more. Great. Now let's try that before after. There we go. That's a better adjustment. Okay, so this is our final shot. Let's take all three masks, all three adjustments right here. Let's turn them off. Let's play back. Not bad. Let's turn them on. That's our final graded masked shot. We've got the object mask on the phone. The shape mask doing work to shift your attention between the phone to the phone and the talent, revealing his anxiety over the awaited phone call. And then we have another mask that inverts the shape mask before it, desatting and darkening the shot. So you really pay attention to what we want you to pay attention to. That's what color grading is all about. That's where the fun is. Pardon me if I get a little too excited. I really love this stuff. And I love that we can do this in Premiere now. Answer me honestly. It is April 2026. 12 months ago, did you ever think in a million years you'd be able to do things like this inside Premiere? Neither did I. But here we are. All right, remember, if you want to learn more about masking, go ahead and read the documentation. Go over on HelpX. We have all the documentation you could possibly imagine. Every single right click, every menu, every feature, every little detail about color mode is fully documented and ready for your eyes. So head over to HelpX, check out that documentation. Happy editing, happy grading. Most importantly, have fun as you learn and use color mode. This is Jason signing off. We'll see you folks next time.